The scene was set. The weather was perfect. Even the flowers seemed to bloom just for this. The first step to a new life was about to happen after years of suffering.
Give her the peace she needs and love and protect her through this all.
We first met Jessica Mullins on the morning of her surgery. Her right eye was about to come out and she was scared. This was the last physical reminder of the attack that nearly killed her. The medical team that day welcomed her wearing purple, the color symbolizing domestic violence awareness.
Everyone up here in the OR wore purple today, which was awesome to see. I didn't even realize how much they knew about what was going on, because it's a day in the life for me.
Dr. Jasmine Mahajer of the Eye Institute of West Florida agreed to perform Jessica's surgery for free. The young woman on the operating table had lived with searing pain for 6 years, and this surgeon would use her power to stop it.
I've had patients who've literally sat in the dark for a year because they couldn't work, couldn't drive, couldn't go outside, and she was beginning to become that way as well too. She was? Yeah, beginning to have a lot of increased pain that was affecting her function.
In May of 2010, Jessica was beaten blind by her former husband, Thomas. She'd been ambushed in broad daylight in front of their son. Thomas was sentenced to 15 years in prison for 2 counts of attempted murder, but Jessica got life. At least it felt that way. She was dying on the inside with chronic, excruciating pain every day. She dropped to 93 pounds at 5'7" by the time her mom found Dr. Mahajer and Hands Across the Bay.
This is kind of what I do. Like, some people sit in a room and write computer programs all day, and that's just what you do. And sometimes you forget what something small to you is really life-changing to someone else. So it's these things that kind of keep me going.
That compassion inspiring others to give.
I kind of reached out to everyone. We got the implant for free. The sutures, I believe, we got donated. The gentleman, Randy Miner, is going to make the prosthesis, has donated that as well too.
Randy Miner has been making prosthetic eyes for 28 years.
Everything in the prosthesis is little tiny silk threads that we inlay in there to make that look like the white of the eye.
Hand painting Jessica's new eye himself.
To have to go back out in public and face someone without your eye is a hard thing to do.
Jessica didn't have to, thanks to Miner and Dr. Mahajer. And $15,000 later, their work was done.
So exciting.
Our cameras were rolling as she reached for that mirror the first time. The medical team as excited as the patient.
So awesome. God is so good.
These 2 grams of acrylic, smaller than the cap of a water bottle, changed her life. Still blind in one eye, but minus the pain and the deformity, Jessica could start over.
You're doing the bravest stuff of it all. Just telling your story. It's the most important part of it all.
Now we have to take our first selfie.
That first selfie was crowded, but this DV survivor wouldn't have had it any other way.
You all are going to be in my selfie. Oh yeah, that was good.
Jessica's heroes had prepped and planned for 6 months with one day in mind. Her wedding day. On June 11th, Jessica and Jeremy Criswell were married, the survivor finally getting her happily ever after. The couple said their I-do's on the Slappy family's farm in Lakeland, and Jessica's dress, the flowers, the farm, all beautiful. But most radiant of all was the work of her heroes, on display for all to see, on Jessica's face and in her heart.
Just speechless. She was so beautiful. The eye was perfect. She was so happy.
Our goal was to return her to some sense of normalcy.
She's just such a special person. She's so brave. She's going to save far more many lives than I ever will by telling her story.